Yeah,
I know it's moving very fast, so it's going to get loud really fast for you guys in the Albany area, and we're not forgetting about you guys in the other areas as well. We're timing this out so we can have all your cities on here. Albany, of course, one of the more populated areas. You guys need to be taking your shelters. Tornado sirens should be off. If you guys are watching on TV, if you guys are watching in a restaurant, I know a lot of football going on today, you guys need to forget about it right now if you're in this tornado warning, because this is a serious situation. We're talking about possibility of a tornado moving into the southern portion of Albany. Does that put it on track to hit Putney or a little bit north of Putney?
I did it probably a broad view.
Okay.
But it should cross between Putney and Albany.
So
probably south side of Albany.
So this is the area that we think that if this tornado is confirmed, and we're going to treat it like it is, because definitely dangerous situation, would be coming, crossing Highway 19, moving right across the southern portion of Albany. And let's see if we can get a little bit of timing on this. And if you guys are in any of these areas, seek shelter. Watch us on your phone. Do not stick by a TV. You need to get into a shelter position now. That means an interior room, and that usually a bathroom with bathtub and a hall closet. This is a dangerous situation. We're not talking about just a potential for some heavy wind. We've got a tornado warning on this storm here, and you can already hear the rain start picking up here in Albany, but it looks like that potential tornado be going between Putney and Albany. Would you say that's correct, Chris?
Yeah, the rotation looks like it's there. Let me just look at it real quick.
All right, we're going to look and try to get another idea of what's going on here.
It's due east right now, or sorry, due west of Putney.
Due west of Putney here.
And heading along that line still. So I'm going to put that line back up. Along that yellow line, which I'll show you here in a second. That seems to be exactly the center of the track of that line. You see that line? I'm going to move that.
All right, you can kind of see this yellow line here, which is actually the southern portion of the severe thunderstorm warning. It looks like along this line is where we think that possible rotation could be, right here. And Chris has got the arrow in here now. That's great.
The rotation's right here, and it's moving right along this yellow line. It's pretty much exactly on the center. The south side of that line is where I think the worst of the weather will be, where we're seeing winds.
We're in this area here, south of Albany.
Gusting to, let's see here, I'm showing browns again. So we could be seeing, hold on a second, up to 80, 90 miles an hour winds here.
All right, so we're looking at another potential strong wind event coming through the southern portion of Albany here. We are under a tornado warning, this red polygon. If you guys are listening to us right now and hear the sirens outside, you need to be in your shelter. I cannot stress to you guys enough how being in the bottom floor of your home, interior room, you don't want to be in a room that has any exterior walls. You want to be on the inside, most sturdy portion of your home. Anything from football helmets, bike helmets, pillows, blankets, cover your head. A lot of people get hurt by debris in these tornadoes, and we're expecting right now that we could have this potential tornado right now that is west of Putney, moving toward Highway 19 now, and south of the Albany area, with the potential our winds here. And we're more located up here, and if we need to take cover, we will. But right now, it looks like it's more on the southern side of Albany right now. So we're keeping a very close eye on this, as this tornado warning now is pushing through portions of southwest Georgia, including Albany, Georgia right now. We're starting to hear the rain pick up. You'll hear the wind pick up, but we are in a tornado warning. We're talking about very heavy, very strong wind possible with this. Nothing to mess around with. You could potentially hear trees snapping, falling on roofs. That's why you need to be on the low level of your home. You need to have your head covered. This is a dangerous situation that we're talking about right now. And we are going to time this out a little bit for where we think the rotation is. The last time we really picked up on it was off to the west of Putney, and you're going to hear the rain pick up here too, so I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder, but we're talking about Walker at 3:23, Albany 3:30, so that's here in about 8 minutes. You guys need to make sure that you are staying safe, please. We don't need anybody else getting hurt. We've got moving into the Walker area at 323, 330 by Albany there. And how's that rotation look like, Chris?
It's really tight. It's really coming together.
It's a really tight rotation.
Yeah.
Has the Weather Service said anything else there on chat? Anything about
no.
debris signature?
No, nothing.
Okay, because if we did see that, then if we saw a debris signature, we could potentially say that there's a tornado on the ground, because it would be putting up some debris.
It is, to me, it's very reminiscent of the January 2nd event.
Yeah, this is almost like Groundhog Day here for January 2nd. So it looks like it's going to hit a little further off to the south. Can't pinpoint it exactly, but we're doing the best here we can. If you live along this kind of yellow line here, south of Albany, north of Putney, it looks like where the worst of this is going to be happening.
You literally have just smatterings of what used to be homes thrown into the woods.
Devastation is widespread across South Georgia tonight. Deadly storms rolled through, leaving destruction and a death toll in the double digits. We've got live team coverage of some of the affected areas and how officials are already working on relief efforts.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WALB News 10 with breaking news now.
Widespread destruction tonight across multiple South Georgia counties. Take a look at this incredible video. This wedge tornado caught on camera as it hit Albany. Tonight, families are ripped apart, homes destroyed, a total of 15 lives lost, and many, many more injured. The devastation is hard to describe, and it is everywhere. This video is from Adel, aerial footage over a trailer park completely gone. You can see the massive destruction from above. Many trees down, 7 lives lost, and 16 injured there alone. In Dougherty County, 4 people killed on Holly Drive, 3 men and 1 woman. That information confirmed tonight from the coroner. The fear here is that there could be more. And in Brooks County, a husband and wife killed in their home. This is what's left of it tonight. Hard to even tell it was a home. Very sad. And 2 deaths reported in Berrien County. Good evening. I'm Emily Forrester. We know it's been a long day for so many of you in our community. We're constantly working to bring you the very latest, and this is what we know right now. 7 of our counties are under a state of emergency. Those counties include Atkinson, Berrien, Brooks, Colquitt, Cook, Lowndes, and Thomas counties. And Dougherty County Commission Chairman Chris Cohilas today declared another state of emergency for this county. President Donald Trump discussed the tornadoes that swept through southwest Georgia. He discussed this matter with Governor Deal. Here's what he had to say today.
And just expressed our sincere condolences for the lives taken. Tornadoes were vicious and powerful and strong, and they suffered greatly. So we'll be helping out the state of Georgia.
No word yet on if our area will receive FEMA help from storms that hit our area January 2nd.
You literally have a trailer park that looks like it's been disintegrated.
Albany officials describe what they're calling pure devastation, left behind by this afternoon's tornado. Right now in Dougherty County, local and state officials focusing on saving lives. EMA Director Ron Rowe says Georgia State Patrol teams, along with Georgia Search and Rescue teams, were set to come to Albany tonight. Rowe says there's no timeline on how long that will take because there are areas completely wiped out to the point where emergency officials had to respond on foot.
We're going to perform our life safety duties until we know that they're absolutely complete. So the searching, whatever we may have to do, we're going to do that as long as it takes.
Rowe says after they're done with rescue and recovery, officials will move on to making sure the community itself is taken care of. Now tonight, areas where crews are working to clear debris, so far it appears Holly Road and Moultrie Road areas appear to be the first. Now, the roof over the gas pumps at Kangaroo Express store at Moultrie Road and Mock Road, there's a lot of damage to that building, and it gives you a little bit of an idea of the power of the storms that came through this afternoon. We're just, we have a crew who's just blocks from the Holly Drive area where we now know 4 people were killed by what appears to be a tornado. There are a lot of power lines and trees down as well, and the roads earlier were blocked. Now that led to a real problem for storm victims on Holly Drive getting to safety. The Leon Reed family was in front of the store with their luggage. Their home had trees pierce the roof and they lost power, so they walked to that store and waited for friends to pick them up. Now Reed says his neighborhood was heavily impacted.
We had trees lodged in the roofs of houses. Cars, my vehicle, a tree hit it, smashed it, just laid it down to the ground. And other neighbors, sustained fence damage.
The Reed's friend had trouble getting to them because of downed power lines and trees in that area. Dougherty County Schools are now providing buses to drive residents in the Holly Drive area to the Civic Center. The Reeds, only 2 blocks from where we know at least 4 people died on Holly Road, and that's why the Reeds say they were shaken but feeling blessed because their family hid in a safe room and was not hurt. Now tonight we have learned the American Red Cross is reopening the Albany Civic Center as a shelter. Officials made the decision after destruction from storms this afternoon and last night in Albany. Transportation to the shelter is again being provided by the transit system at the following locations: Harvey's Plaza on Radium Springs Road and the U.S. Post Office on Mock Road. If you need further assistance, you can call the Emergency Operations Center at 483-6226. People in East Albany are joining together to keep one another safe after a tornado nearly ran through their neighborhood. WALB News 10's Mike Fussell is live on Pinson Road, where power is out and folks were cleaning up damage earlier tonight.
Residents say damage like this here behind me is bad, but they're teaming together to help each other out. Together, Melisha Holton and Latoya Darity make their way through the dark.
Everybody on my end is fine.
Just hours earlier, strong storms moved through their neighborhood, knocking out the power and flattening trees.
My baby boy was like, Mama, we got to get in shelter. We got to get in shelter. I told him, son, just stop and pray, and God's going to send us through.
Holton says a hole was left in her roof and rain poured into her home. It's an experience both at the Pine Forest Apartments say was terrifying.
And I panicked, and it's not a very good sight. I was trying to keep calm, maintain, but it was really hard to do so.
As signs lay on the road, Darity says she'll stick it out and stay in her apartment for the night with her 3 children. But if power isn't restored soon, she says she'll be heading to her mother's house.
I haven't been able to reach her, so apparently she ain't got no lights neither. So I'm trying to find me a shelter to go to.
Until the sun comes up, the two have each other. Holton says she's only lived in her apartment for 3 months, but now she's found a neighbor and a friend she can depend on.
Pretty rough and really scary for me because I've been here for a short amount of time. But, I mean, I feel like I have a good neighbor to turn to that pretty much will help me.
An asset for both that is bound to be valuable over the coming days. The two say neighbors are still coming together to remove trees from roads here. Live in Albany, Mike Fussell, WALB News 10.
More details now on damage in Dougherty County. Marines are now assessing damage after that tornado is confirmed to have touched down on the Marine Corps Logistics Base in Albany. Officials say nobody was killed or injured when the storm hit, but the base did receive property damage. The facility will be open Monday to essential personnel and residents only. All employees are asked to use the main gate on Fleming Road to enter the base. The Radium Springs area in South Albany also badly damaged. These videos sent in from a viewer show the devastation. Crews are still out working to assist residents and make sure everyone is safe. There are reports of several folks who are still not able to leave that area. Trees are down as well as power lines, and the majority of roads are closed. City officials are telling people to avoid that area until further notice. And here's a glimpse of all the damage folks are seeing in the Blue Springs area of Dougherty County. This is on the opposite side of the Flint River near the Radium Springs area where there is large areas of damage. Our crews found dozens of trees down and debris everywhere. A lot of Dougherty County roads were also blocked after the storms went through, causing a lot of traffic nightmares. This is North County Line Road and Hill Road on the Dougherty-Worth County line. County Line Road was blocked by downed trees and live power lines. Lee County Sheriff and Leesburg police officers were helping direct traffic, keeping people from driving into the dangerous areas. Lots of people were trying to drive there to check on friends, creating a lot of traffic jams around that storm-damaged region. 7 people died in Sunshine Acres Mobile Home Park from the tornado that ripped through Cook County in the early morning hours today. Many residents tell WALB surviving the terrifying weather wasn't the worst part. After making it through the storm, they stepped outside to see mobile homes flipped upside down, trees and debris everywhere. Neighbors say everyone who could immediately jump in did to help.
When we stepped out and we ran out, we heard people just hollering for help. So we ran fast enough to go help our neighbors out.
Cook County officials and multiple other law enforcement agencies spent the day on a search and rescue mission at the mobile home park. First Baptist of Adel served as a safe haven for folks who were able to seek shelter. WALB News 10's Alex Weaver spoke with church volunteers on what they did to help people stay safe.
Today, there's not one person, no matter what color their skin is, no matter what church they go to, everybody just has come in the door saying, what can we do to help?
For folks in Cook County, First Baptist Church of Adel opened its doors for a safe shelter. Over 10 volunteers from different counties and states as far away as North Carolina came in to lend a helping hand.
So we opened up the church early this morning, and we have had nothing but an abundance of people coming through here, grabbing what they need, getting fed, getting clothes or whatever.
There were over 75 people who were displaced to the church. The majority of these people lost their homes and most of their valuables. Folks who didn't have any damage to their homes brought needed items to the shelter.
And food, clothes, blankets, cleaning supplies. We've had a lot of stuff that have been donated.
The church staff were also worried about taking care of the crews out working.
We've been making plates for food to get them out there fed so that they can keep doing what they're doing.
Although Mother Nature showed how devastating she can be, the staff at First Baptist said their motivation for serving others was simple.
God tells us to love others as we love ourselves.
In Adel,
there are 3 other shelters open in Cook County. For a list of those, you can visit our website, WALB.com. And anyone looking for information on missing individuals in Cook County can contact the Adel First Assembly of God at 229-896-3935, as well as First Baptist Church of Adel at 229-561-1201. They are still taking calls. A lot of schools will be closed tomorrow. Doherty, Lee, Coffee, Berrien, Cook, Colquitt, Worth, Irwin, Crisp, Calhoun, Turner County schools are all closed for staff and students on Monday. For more schools that are closed tomorrow, you can find this list on our website, WALB.com. And we will continue to bring you storm coverage after the break. Happening now, we have crews continuously working to get more information about the widespread damage across South Georgia tonight. Continuing our team coverage right now is WALB News 10's Cade Fowler, live in Doherty County at the Albany Police Mobile Command Center. Cade, what's the latest there?
Yeah, hey Emily, we're here at Radiant Springs Road where APD has set up this mobile command center. This is really the staging area for the officers and the volunteers that are heading out into these storm-ravaged areas. Now let's go to some of the video. This is a little bit earlier as law enforcement was briefed on the damaged areas where they're heading out to. They'll be out riding the roads, also blocking off areas so those power crews can get in. As for the volunteers, many are offering to drive storm victims to the Civic Center. I spoke with a group who said they just wanted to come out and help their neighbors.
We're just out helping people, trying to help the community and get some things situated, maybe help people by transporting them back to the Civic Center, but really doing what we can do to help anyone right now.
And this is video here of the damage on Holly Drive in 19. The former Sitco station was leveled when a tornado came through, and just a glimpse of how bad things are in East Albany. and East Doherty County. Now, the volunteers, they've come out by the dozens. They're trying to get out in these areas, but speaking with officials out here, they say, you know, the biggest danger, the number one danger about getting back here and assessing these areas is the number of down power lines they have here. So just the sheer volume of those down power lines and the safety that's involved. That's why they're having to be very careful with these coordinations. But I did see a group of nurses who were out here a little earlier trying to get out there to help people who may be in need. And we even had a call from a viewer a short time ago and said, why have we not been able to get any footage from Radiant Springs? And that's simply why we can't. We can't access these areas, but we're going to try our best to get back there. And, of course, we'll bring you the latest beginning tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. on Today in Georgia. Emily.
Thanks, Kate. A lot of road closures throughout southwest Georgia due to the severe weather. After the break, we'll tell you what roads you need to avoid.
And for the first time in a couple nights, we're able to rest easy overnight. I'm going to let you know what you guys can expect over the next couple of days and look at some of the damage paths we had right after the break.
Now your WALB First Alert weather with meteorologist Andrew Gorton.
Calming down this evening going into the overnight hours. We do have a few showers that are going to be moving across southwest Georgia, but it's more of a peaceful rain now. Going to be able to sleep a lot easier tonight than the past couple of nights. Warming up tomorrow only to the low to mid 60s. Now it's it's going to be a lot cooler now. Finally, that last round brought through that cold front that also ahead of it brought through some of those very nasty tornadoes and storms. But right now, a good news to report is that we don't have any, of course, severe weather warnings right now. Now, the rivers and creeks, they're going to be high. Mainly, the peaking would be in the moderate flood range. So you guys know if you live along those creeks with the moderate flood range means something we'll be checking on here. And then the wind advisory goes until tomorrow 7 p.m. It's also going to be very windy for the areas not shaded in that tan color as well as we go into tomorrow, gusting up to 30 miles an hour. Now, you can see a few of these showers. And we're only going to have these showers. It's very stable across southwest Georgia right now. A little heavier downpour going toward the Quitman area. One lonely strike of lightning over by Branchville going toward Camilla. But it's a very stable environment, nothing to worry about. Now, these are radar estimated rainfall totals over the past 24 hours, and some of them are just outstanding, with 8 inches possible in the Homerville area. I think that's a little higher, and I think all of these could be just a little bit higher than what actually happened. But Thomasville possibly almost 5 inches there the last 24 hours. Same here in Albany, Lee County. And anywhere you see the yellow to oranges, you're going to have 4 to 5 inches of rain. And also, I mean, a busy weekend. Look at this, the storm reports here. Multiple trees down. We had flooding, we had hail, and of course we had the tornadoes. So we started yesterday morning with this tornado. We had 2 casualties with it, and it was a long track tornado. It happened in the early morning hours. About 3:50 a.m. is when we got the report over here. Started before that. It looks like the track of it might not have been on the ground the whole time, but about 44 miles there. And then this one started at 1 Central, so 2 o'clock this afternoon is about whenever it started ramping up today. This tornado warning extended into early in Clay County. We followed that one for a little while. That was the first one. And then it went into, of course, the tornado that started in the Albany area. And it also extended actually past 50 miles along this track. That does not mean that it was on the ground the whole time. Just the linear track of that would be all up there. And, of course, 4 deaths here in Doherty County. Sad to report, but it's all calm across southwest Georgia right now. Temperatures actually flirting with the 40s. Up in Americus, after that cold front came through, a little warmer over down toward Valdosta, Thomasville, and over in Homerville. Wind still coming in from the southeast at about 13 miles an hour. It's going to be pretty calm tonight. Temperatures staying in the low to mid 50s. As we go to the next few hours, we do have a chance of just a few showers as we go into the early morning hours. The morning's going to have more clouds in the afternoon. Actually, it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day. And then as we go into your morning, we're going to have temperatures in the 50s. Tomorrow, just very breezy, so be careful if you're out there helping with the storm cleanup. And then we have a pretty nice calm week for you guys. Breezy with only a slight chance of rain there Wednesday and Thursday. Cooler temperatures by the weekend.
If you don't have our free WALB weather app yet, please download it. You can track severe storms even when you don't have power or if you're on the go. We also encourage you to get our news app to have access to the latest information on storm relief efforts and any breaking news around the clock. The storms this weekend have been widespread throughout South Georgia. After the break, we'll show you how the damages affected residents in Ashburn.
A lot of damage here is bringing this community together. And the pastor here at this church says the sooner it gets cleaned up, the sooner they can be out in Thomasville helping other storm victims. It takes a village to clean up the destruction of a tornado that tore through South Georgia.
I got the call Sunday morning very early that there were trees down and power was out, so we had to cancel service. But until I pulled in, I had no idea the extent of the damage.
A church that still stands strong despite all the damage it may have.
We're just so overwhelmed with support. Church members have come out in droves. Other churches, another church actually brought us breakfast this morning.
And church members hope that once they're done cleaning up, they'll be able to carry on that act of kindness.
And as soon as we get everything up and running here, we look forward to helping others.
Through the destruction, you can see one thing remained untouched: the church's cross on its front lawn.
We'll rebuild. You know, God is a good father. He's good to us, and even when stuff like this happens, we can trust that he knows us, he loves us, and he's got a plan for us still.
A positive outlook that serves as a beacon of light in these dark times. Now, amazingly, through all of this damage, one thing was untouched, and that is the worship center where they hold service on Sunday. The pastor told me it is a blessing. In Thomas County, Ashlyn Beckton, WALB News 10. It's one thing to hear about the destruction and another to see it. When I walked back there, I saw kids' toys scattered throughout the area, cars that had been crushed, but now the community tells me that they are coming together. But that night will be one they will never forget.
Very, very, very lucky.
It's a feeling most folks at Sunshine Acres agree with, because after storms ripped through Cook County, this is what folks at Sunshine Acres walked out to see.
It's totally devastating. You don't know what to say. You just want to help, but you don't know actually what to do, but you're trying to help.
Once Chris Bullard realized he and his family were okay, he quickly ran to check on neighbors and friends.
I went into the trailer park after it happened and went in and was helping check to see if anybody needed help.
He expected to help a little.
I was expecting just to see a couple of trailers maybe messed up.
Then quickly realized how bad the destruction was.
I didn't expect to see the whole trailer park wiped out and people laying around.
According to officials, 7 people died. Bullard says some of those people were his friends, but community support has helped everyone.
Amazing how people come together after a tragedy like this.
And as he returns to his home across the street, he has one strong feeling.
We were fortunate, blessed, actually.
Now, folks across Cook County are helping storm victims and first responders by providing them with meals, places to stay, and basic supplies. In Cook County for the Raycom News Network, I'm Caitlin Chastain.
Hundreds of residents are working overtime, sawing uprooted trees and moving them to the side of the road so debris crews can pick up. But like many others, Stan McCormick is waiting patiently for crews to come by his home located on the 300 block of Camellia Road.
Trees, debris everywhere. The road was blocked. My backyard and front yard was a mess.
Initially, McCormick was trapped before emergency management crews came out to help him get out. But there's a lot of work still to be done.
And let's continue to work together.
Mayor Dorothy Hubbard kicking off tonight's meeting on the city's storm debris cleanup. The city has brought in 2 national debris companies. They stress the importance of separating debris.
95% of our debris out there on the curb line is clean. We want to keep it that way. So
to do so, they're urging folks to separate it into 4 categories: normal household trash, vegetative, construction, and appliances debris piles. So far, the city has collected more than 100,000 cubic yards of debris. Residents voiced several questions on removing stumps and root balls.
if it comes to the right of way, they can haul it off as debris.
But if it's on private property, they will have to hire contractors to pick it up. McCormick said volunteers have helped him get ready.
Daily, since the storm hit, we had a lot of volunteer groups come up.
Now he just has to wait for that mountain in his yard to be picked up.
Signs of storm recovery are visible across the Mary Acres neighborhood. Another familiar sight, unsightly root balls.
They're also a health issue for young people that want to come and jump on them and get hurt, and they're cocked up out the ground and it's getting warm. We may have rodents and snakes in them.
Just on this one piece of property in Mary Acres, we counted 19 root balls. It's going to cost this out-of-state homeowner roughly $5,000 to haul them all away. It's an expense that many homeowners, especially those already dealing with costly repairs, simply cannot afford.
The recovery folks, the volunteers, the church groups have worked with the city to try to figure out a way to get that next, what's left out on private property onto the right-of-way.
But getting the remaining 10% of storm debris curbside will only happen as long as private property owners participate.
But what we need citizens to do at this point is, if you have a root ball in your yard and you need help getting it to the curb, then you need to go to the city website and register.
But the 15th of June is the target date for we're trying to get material out to that curb line, because if we can do it and get it to the right of way at that period of time, then we can potentially get it reimbursed at 75% by FEMA. If after June 29th, anything we collect after that potentially would be 100% funded by the taxpayers through the Solid Waste Division.
Shannon Yulo rushed to her sister's house for shelter after hearing the tornado warnings, but when nothing happened, she prepared to head back to her own house. Before she could, the tornado ripped through her southwest Doherty County neighborhood. Her sister's house held up, but her mobile home was smothered by surrounding trees.
The pine trees on top of the whole back side of my house on the end of it, and then the oak trees. So it covered about from 3/4 back.
Yeah, some here and in my room. And then the back room has a big hole. That's why we had a blue tarp on it.
Yulo said she's thankful she and her grandson are alive and is pleased with the immediate response from the community.
Because it was devastation everywhere. Come out here Monday and Tuesday, there was a whole bunch of people, all my neighbors plus people from Lee County and Moultrie at my house when I woke up and come over here.
Only a week removed from the second round of storms, her yard is clear of the many trees it was once riddled with. Though there's much more work to be done, she counts that as a blessing. Problems still persist in her neighborhood. Crews have been working day and night to restore power, and there are several homes like Yulo's that don't have access to utilities and are struggling to afford alternative routes.
I mean, I don't have water. My well was in the trees. I mean, everybody's having trouble doing generators. Like this generator here, it's costing like $100 a gas like every 3 days.
But while Yulo awaits responses from insurance to restore her house to livable conditions, she knows it could have been much worse for her and her grandson.
Well, we're okay.
I mean, it's a shame, and you know, like I said, I'm grateful we're all alive, but without everybody's help, I don't think any of us could have done it.
From the air, the devastation becomes all too clear. An EF2 tornado packing winds well over 100 miles per hour, tearing mobile homes to pieces.
And the house started trying to lift up. Luckily, a tree fell on it and held it down.
Anthony Mitchell and his family survived the storm that demolished much of Paradise Village Mobile Home Park. The aftermath, traumatic.
I come out, there's nothing left. Went around trying to find people. They were just pulling people out, carrying people out. Everybody's crying. I mean, it just looks like a war took place. I mean, there's nothing left.
Of the 200 mobile homes here, some literally blown away.
Probably about 10 or 15 trailers in here that I don't even know where they went. They're no longer in their spots.
And elsewhere in southeast Doherty, it's the same situation.
We have pancake collapse structures, which they're flat. Some structures are gone. Like I said, there are some neighborhoods that don't exist anymore.
With hundreds of trees down along with miles of power lines, right now the first goal, getting to those who may still be trapped. Monday, Georgia search and rescue crews arriving on the ground searching for any sign of life or death. As for the survivors, the only thing many have left is their lives.
People in here didn't have much, I mean, but we all pulled together at the end, and now, I mean, the people that had a little bit of stuff done lost everything. So, I mean, there ain't much left.